So if anybody's out there listening to this, sometimes you just got to say, hey, listen, you know what? Maybe I didn't do the right thing previously for whatever reason. I was overwhelmed. I just was scared, whatever. But I want to go back and actually do it right, because it isn't even about the stuff you're learning so much. It's about the confidence that you're gaining, right? And the character that you're building. Like, those are the best lessons in it.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jackie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world. Okay, welcome back. We are continuing our series. First part was we were talking about Thanksgiving. Next part was we were discussing Crissy's Redwood Super Kids program, actually, which I'd really suggest you guys go back and listen to the previous episode. If you have any children between the ages of probably 4 and 15, would you say, Chris?
Yeah.
Then people should check out your Redwood Super Kids program. You can email Crissy. She'll get you the info. She'll get you some promotional information. You'll learn all about it, and I think you guys will be super blessed to be able to have your kids join us. But let's get back to our questions.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about how we complete the year with certain questions that we ask as a family. And your first one, which got us on the topic last time about Redwood Super Kids, we asked, what was your biggest victory this past year? And Crissy said starting Redwood Super Kids. The big victory in it was just, whenever you start something new, it seems like a daunting task, and there's a lot of parts that are unknown, but you have to just go for it. You just got to start, right? And now it's in full swing. You got big goals for next year, which is exciting. Druce, what was your biggest victory last year? Do you remember? So I have the notes written down in front of me from when I asked them this before, and now it's been a couple weeks though, and so
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember.
I forgot.
What you said was you were really proud of yourself for how much you improved in all sports. Okay, tell us about that.
Well, I feel like this was a really good sports year for us, because we just moved from Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, we had no sports really, and then this year, it's so much more competitive.
You had sports.
Just not that competitive.
It just wasn't competitive. We were in a very small town, and so half the time it was just tricky even just to get sports to function right, because there wasn't enough kids, or there's always like a coaching issue where there wasn't somebody available to coach. And so it was just a little, it just wasn't like it is here. What's it like here?
It's way more competitive.
Yeah.
On the boys and middle school team, there's an A, B, C, and D team for 7th grade only.
Yeah.
Not even counting 8th grade.
For basketball.
Just for basketball.
It's pretty crazy.
How many kids were on your cross country team in middle school?
I think 70?
Yeah, I think it was 85 or something like that. 85
on
kids.
A cross country.
For cross country, right?
It's pretty crazy.
How many kids tried out for tennis?
Like 100, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think there was right about 100. I think it was
105.
I think it was that, yeah.
like 105 kids on middle school tennis.
Yeah.
And so do they let everybody just play just because you're there, or do you have to earn spots to be able to play on the varsity level?
Yeah, you have to earn spots to be able to be varsity. There's so the best gonna be singles. They rank you 1, 2, 3, and then it becomes doubles. There's 3 sets of doubles, and then there's alternates, which is super competitive last year because there was some pretty good kids.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And so have you been rising to the occasion?
Yes.
So cross country, out of those big, massive teams, they run 6th, 7th, and 8th grade all together. They don't do separate, grades. So who was the number 1 cross country kid at our school for boys last year?
Probably me.
Yeah, it probably was you. What about for the girls?
This year?
This year.
Me.
Yeah. Elli, which 6th grade was beating all these 7th and 8th graders, right? They were 1.5 feet taller than you, you know. But you went for it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Show up, she's quiet, she's got her little red hair, she's got her little cute little smile. Everybody just thinks she's super innocent, and all of a sudden the race starts and she will just like destroy you.
No, I always look at her walking up with her friends, and I was like, if I just looked at that team, I definitely would not think that little redheaded girl would like
Yeah.
literally win
Totally. Yeah.
races
Yeah.
like she has. And I'm like, I mean, there's space for everything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So, Ellie, what was your biggest victory last year? Do you remember what you told me?
Was it cross country?
No, it was, you said, learning how to be a good friend to others. You want to tell us about that? What do you mean by that?
So in Wisconsin, I didn't have very many friends, so I didn't, and when I did have friends, they weren't very disciplined friends, I would say. So it would be a lot different. I didn't really know how to act around them, but I didn't really need to because I wasn't around them that many times. So when I moved here to Idaho, I have a lot more friends because of our church. I have like 10 friends now. So now I really have to learn how to be a good friend to others, because if I don't act like a good friend, then how am I going to get good friends?
Yeah, and you know, me and Mom, our philosophy is there's a certain level of standards we expect out of people you're going to hang out with, especially at the youngest ages. You know, when you're still developing, you're very impressionable. We all are at your guys' young ages, right? So we see it as our job to make sure that we protect you from not having relationships that can negatively affect you, right? And so because of that, when we had a smaller pool of people, there wasn't a lot of people that probably held the standards that we would want you guys spending a lot of time with. So therefore, you know, it's pretty much you had your friends were your family, you know?
Yeah.
Thank goodness we had a lot of kids, right?
Yeah.
And then here, of course, you know, we have the same philosophy, but there are some people who actually have a lot of similar values to us, and they appreciate us and respect us. And, you know, a lot of them even listen to our podcasts, and, you know, they kind of get who we are and what we're doing. And so because of that, now you've had access to some other people, but you've had to kind of learn, though, also how to engage with them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a new thing, and you've done a great job with it, which is pretty cool.
Thanks.
You know, my little redheaded leader, where people are trying to get on your bandwagon to see where you're going because they want to be near you. Okay, sounds like all of our kids, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So for the biggest victory last year, Abby said that she had such a great golf season this past year. She improved like 20 strokes from the year before, which is pretty cool. For me, I said starting my Man Maker program pre-launch. Crissy Lou inspired me, so I'm launching my online next endeavor as well, because she's kind of showing me taillights with how she's getting things going, which is fun. But it's really fun to be able to do things along with each other because we're both learning the same kind of stuff, aren't we?
Yeah, it's actually quite convenient because like I feel like we can kind of like whatever new things we're both learning, we can like tell each other the new stuff, and it's really fun.
Yeah, and this is the part that most people don't get. You know, so I'm 50 years old. I have a lot of experience in coaching and training. You know, a couple decades. Crissy's 14, just so you know, but she's pretty much already caught up to me in most areas, which is pretty impressive. Mom, she said actually two things. She said that it was the growth of this podcast, High Performance Parenting, because this is really a passion project for us. We really want to help families be able to raise champion kids, even in a world that's pretty crazy right now. And so just being super consistent, and I don't know how many, we're over a couple hundred episodes now, and we're going strong, and we haven't missed a week ever, and it's been cool. And so just having the growth, I don't know where we're at now. I think last we checked, we're like top 2% global, you know, which is cool. And we want to become the top, right? Which we're working towards. And then another one that she said was just her serving so many leaders in the church, because, you know, in any organization, leaders can usually be the loneliest, most, I don't know, they could get almost to a level of burnout if they don't have people serving them. And it's so cool because your mom has been like going behind the scenes and serving all the leaders, so the leaders can help others as much as they can. And then for Bella, her biggest triumph was becoming the #1 girl for JV for golf.
Yeah.
Right, last year, which is pretty cool. Okay. And then we said, what was the smartest decision that you made this past year, or decisions? Do you guys remember what you said? Lou, you said choosing to do the tennis running challenge. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Okay, so at the end of Abby and Bella's tennis season last year, I was still in middle school, so our season had already ended. At the end of Abby and Bella's tennis season last year, their coach started having like Saturday workouts, so like we would like get together, and for any like the incoming freshmen and things like that could also join. So I started going to that with them, and he mentioned something about a running challenge, and so I thought it was going to be something that everybody else did. We were already kind of doing stuff together, sports and things like that. So I was like, okay, I probably don't even have to really pay attention to that. Bad decision, because when we got home, Mom and Dad were like, so what did your coach say about this running challenge? And so what it was is that it was like a hill sprint challenge or / flat run. So if you're like on vacation or you couldn't, get to the Eagle Bike Park, which is where we ran our hill, you could do a flat run, which is you have to get 2.25 miles in less than 30 minutes, which was easy for us. So we oftentimes did more than that, like 3, 4, or 5 miles. But so you had to stay consistent with it, though. It was like from, I think it was like early July to early July to like beginning of September.
Yeah.
So consistently every week you either had to go out and do hill sprints twice a week or do flat runs 3 times a week.
Yeah.
But every week, you couldn't take a week off.
That's right.
Otherwise, you drop out of the challenge.
That's
and we
right.
all put in $100 to keep us consistent. And in the end, whoever got the most improved time. So we ran this hill in the beginning of the season, and whoever had their time and then ran a certain percentage better, the best would get 20% of the pot. Yeah. So everyone's super motivated to get their money back.
So you had to put $100 in, and you were going to get $80 back just for completing it. But you didn't get it back if you didn't complete it. And you had to track it, right, when you would do your runs.
Yeah.
So that way, like, get a little thing on your phone or your whatever, right, that track that you actually did the run to stay accountable to it.
Yeah.
And you had to do so many per week, like you said. You couldn't take time off. You couldn't come up with excuses. And so you were motivated to get your $80 back, but then even the improvement part, which was tough because there were some pretty good kids running, right? Who did win anyways?
Yeah. Oh, it was a kid that I had seen play in middle school, like play tennis in middle school, and he was more on the heavier side.
Yeah.
I come after the
was
running
he the one
challenge.
that when we did the first thing, he was like way behind and kind of complaining and wasn't happy at all?
Yeah, apparently he wasn't like feeling good or whatever.
Yeah, he was kind of making excuses. And
exactly.
I remember thinking, I don't think that kid's going to make it.
Yeah.
So he's the one that got the most improved?
He finished the challenge. And he got the most improved. Like literally, he was up there with the best kids at his time. Like he got like it was like I think it was a third of a mile uphill. He got like 1:20 or something like that.
When the first time he got like 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. I was
Dang,
like, say,
good
what?
For him. Good for him.
And I was kind of proud of myself because I had like the fastest girls' time up the hill, and I was faster than a lot of the boys even.
Yeah.
But then the boys come back and they're like running this hill faster than me. I'm like, no fair. You didn't try hard enough the first time. And I'm like, this is not fair. But anyway, it was really cool watching him because he had really like worked really hard during the challenge, and he really looked a lot more fit and everything like that. And I was like, I'm so proud of you. Like you deserve that most.
I was proud of all you guys. You all did a good job with that running challenge, just staying consistent, learning how to stay accountable to the goal, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what the weather's like. You guys were out there in the rain. You were out there, when your schedules were super busy for the week. You were having to do it when we were traveling. Like, it was pretty awesome. Then Druce and Elli kind of jumped on board too, and we're doing it along with them, even though they weren't officially part of the challenge.
Right.
And that helped you guys out, didn't it, to get ready for cross country?
Yeah, it did. It got us a step more than our
a step ahead of everybody.
Everybody's.
Yeah.
Because we were more fit during cross country while they are trying to get fit after the long spring and everything.
Yeah. So this was Druce's biggest victory too, was doing the running challenge prior to cross country. But Tomato, for you, you had said that one of your smartest decisions was refocusing on doing your homework right. Want to tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I got a little behind on homework with not doing very well on it and just kind of seeing it, doing the questions really fast and moving on, not even doing what I was learning. So I got a little behind, and this year it kind of came to a point after I'm trying to get into harder math and not really knowing how to spell and everything correctly. I had to go back to some lower levels in some of my homework, but now I'm accelerating a lot in all my homework. I'm getting straight A's and everything now.
Yeah, I remember, we were seeing that your work was really not very good. And then we finally just had this conversation, and you were really open and honest with us, which we appreciated. And I think I asked you something to the extent of, are you just kind of so far behind that you don't really understand this stuff at all? Or you tell me you're kind of like, yeah, I think I didn't put enough effort in, and then things keep building on things. And so now, if I didn't understand something 10 steps ago, and now we're 10 steps further, it's just, I don't even know how to do it, right? And we just all agreed, okay, well, thanks for telling us the truth, And so, see, the thing that Mom and I never want for you guys is we never want you to lack confidence. And some of this stuff can make you lack confidence. I remember going through this in college. I did it in particular when I was going through my electrical engineering degree. And there's different categories for engineering, and they'll teach you in different semesters about these categories. And one was electronics. And I just remember, for whatever reason, I was working a lot, so I'm not trying to make excuses, but I was putting myself through school, and I was pretty tired and felt half the time like I was hanging on by a thread just to get everything done. But I remember, for whatever reason, in the electronics class, I kind of figured out probably what they were going to have on tests, right? But I didn't really pay a lot of attention. I just didn't. And I remember, though, at the end of that semester, and then the next semester came on, and I just remember thinking, I don't know how to do anything. I did not pay attention to the basics of electronics at all. And so now here I am, but I can't really go back because of the way that things were going in my schedule. And it affected me, I mean, it did. It even affected me later into jobs that I had, because I'm like, this is one area over here that I should know and I don't. And other people who were engineers all did. Right. So then it made me feel like, gosh, I almost feel like a phony here a little bit, and so it was a big lesson for me. I've never let it happen again. There's just no way. That feeling is awful, right? To feel like everybody else knows stuff and you don't, and you're pretending to. So I was really proud of you for being willing to just kind of go back and say, all right, no big deal. Let me go back. Let me take my time. If I get stuck, I'm going to stay here until I learn it. And now you flash forward, and you did that, and you basically caught up to where you're supposed to be anyways, right? But now you're doing it so well. I mean, every category that you had to go back and learn, you're just crushing it now. It feels good, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if anybody's out there listening to this, sometimes you just got to say, hey, listen, you know what? Maybe I didn't do the right thing previously for whatever reason. I was overwhelmed. I just was scared, whatever. But I want to go back and actually do it right, because it isn't even about the stuff you're learning so much. It's about the confidence that you're gaining, right? And the character that you're building. Those are the best lessons in it. So, okay, well, we got through 2 questions. That was amazing in one episode. We'll keep going to the next one.
7.5 minutes per one.
Yeah. Hey everyone, thanks for listening, and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.